Now we'll install the float unit on our water tank. First we have to make a 1 cm hole on the tank. This is a float switch of Onoflot Water Level Controller. As we can see a extending wire coming out of it. We can open this protective cover and take out that wire, and we can see an extension, a white extension coming out from the body. It has to go in that hole that we made just now. Now I am inserting the wire inside that hole into the tank, and as you can see, that extension goes in the tank. Now I have to make 2 holes on both sides to fix the float unit. Now using a screwdriver and the provided screws, I am fixing it in place. You can also see the conduit and the cable that is coming from the control unit. Let's take out the wire that we already inserted in the tank. We have to pass through the stopper nut through the string. We have to unscrew this small bolt here, and we can pass the string through it. The stopper nut has to be fixed at the maximum level, 1 or 2 inch below the overflow limit, and make sure not to over tight the stopper nut to avoid breakage of the wire. And now we have to pass the float ball and the bush that we seen earlier. And we have to pass the string through the small hole there like this. And in the end we have the dead weight. The bottom side of the dead weight marks the minimum level at which the pump starts pumping. So we have to cut the extra wire to the minimum limit that you require and tie the dead weight. Now we can release all these components into the water tank. As you can see here, the dead weight at the minimum level and the stopper at the maximum level, and the float moves in between them. Now let's look at the electrical connections. As we can see, 2 wires are coming out of the float unit, and we are taking a cable from the tank here to the control unit downstairs. And now we have to join these 2 wires with the 2 wires on our cable, like so. Now I have to insulate the joint. I am using a normal insulation tape for that purpose. As you can see, I have insulated the joint. Now I have to use a waterproof insulation tape in order to make this joint waterproof. These are always used in submersible pumps to make the joints waterproof. I can cut a required length, and I have to put it around the joint in order to make it waterproof. And while I am doing it, I am using a little bit of force there. I am pulling it a little bit in order to make the joint perfect. 230 volt AC goes to the float switch, so that you have to make sure the joint is very safe. In that case, you have to use such insulation. I have made both the joints insulated using waterproof insulation tapes, and I have to keep it in place and close the box like this. It's a press fit box, you can close it like that. We have completed the installation of our float unit. We can see that all the electrical connections and electrical contacts are outside the water tank, and nothing is in contact with the water.